Hi guys, I'm back now with the second video in the series How to Learn to Wingfoil. Let's have a look at what you do after you have learned the basic navigation of the wing on your subboard. You are watching wingfoil_Mallorca and I am Frederick Ekemark. Let's go!
I'll give you all of what I've got. The fancy finds, baby, I have not. Just gonna love you. Yeah, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you, babe. Cross my heart and hope to die.
Alright, and the 1099 just glides and glides and glides and glides. Yeah. Today we continue where the first video ended. To get the most out of this video, you need to know the basic skills of how to handle the wing on your subboard. You can now navigate in a straight line and turn back, do a jibe. Finally, you also know how to get upwind, tacking. Then you have the basic skill of navigating. Okay, excellent stuff and well done. Now, why is it important to know how to navigate with the wing before this video and before you get into the water with a smaller board? Here's the answer. It's because when you move down in board size, everything becomes a lot less stable. A lot less stable. When you have the knowledge and experience of handling the wing and can control your board, you will have a much better start when you move over to smaller boards. Okay guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, click on that like button. To see more of my videos from my channel, click the subscribe button and also hit the bell to get notified of new videos being released. To improve your knowledge, visit my channel. I have about 60 videos around wingfoil. Check them out, there's a lot of valuable information in the videos. As always, if you have any questions, write them in the comments below the videos. And thank you so much for supporting the channel. Okay, back to looking at your first wingfoil board. What board size? Depending if you have some background in water sports or not, you have two options. For experienced riders, girls and guys that have a lot of experience from earlier water sports like windsurf, wingfoil, you could start on a smaller board. This one, we can see here, it's a 5.729, 110 liters. If you have experience in windsurf and kitesurf, you could go to this one at once. Like I said earlier, between 5 and 6 feet would be a good board to start off if you already have experience, you know, of wind sport, because you know how to navigate. You need to learn a little bit about how the wing works when you're wingfoiling. You need to get the balance. On a small board like this, you might not be used to it, but you will learn a lot faster because the help of your previous experience. So this is good stuff, guys. If you have no or very little experience in water sport, I can recommend that you start with a board 6 feet or longer, plus 20 to 50 liters above your weight. The bigger the board, the easier it is to start. The first step is to find the balance on your smaller board. If you do not have the right balance on the board, you can't do anything at all on that board. Well, maybe except to fall off. To find the balance is what you need to get right before you can practice getting up on foil. The wind and the waves affect you a lot more on a smaller board. This makes it a lot more unstable and you need more practice. Go out on windy days of maybe 10 knots or more and practice navigating on the smaller board until you've got it. Now here we have a wingfoil board in the bigger segment. Now we are talking here about a 7.4 liter by 32.5. 160 liters. Okay, as you can tell by me, which is 185, that this is a big board. But this board will also be a very stable board to start wingfoiling. When you have the big board there behind me, compared to this one, the stability you have standing on that board is superior. I cannot state how much easier it is to learn on that board if you're a complete beginner with no experience in windsurf and kitesurf. I would even be inclined to go so far to say that if you would start with this board instead of a subboard, you can do it, because so big and steady this one is. And there's an extra fin here on the fin box, and this fin helps you to get some extra stability that will help you navigate the board. So in short, you could actually start on this one as well, which would mean you would start on a foil board at once, but not putting the foil on. If you don't have a fin like this before, you could actually, if you have a foil, just use the mast. So what happens if you put the mast there but not the foil in the beginning? Some people have a lot of respect for the foil and feel uncomfortable before they have kind of a basic understanding. So you can just put the mast there, that will be your fin, which means that you can learn to navigate on a board this size in the beginning. Now, of course, you can always go to school. This one is a training board from a linear surf center here in Compostela. So you rent this one with this fin on or a mast, and you learn a lot faster. Now the experience is that when people are using this type of board instead of a subboard, they learn faster. They progress faster because the handling of this one is similar to a smaller foil board, even though it's a lot more stable. When you have a long subboard like 9-10 feet, the difference is it's quite long, which also means that it's hard to keep up with. That's why I recommended in my earlier video that you put a center fin or two fins on the side, or use a windsurf board with a dagger fin, is to help to avoid that long board all the time sweeping downwards and taking you down to the beach. So this is like the absolute latest experience from actual real world use from the students, that it works to start on this one. This is kind of exciting, because you could start on a foil board at once with no previous experience. How cool isn't that? For further help, look up one of my other videos, Balance. It's all about balance as a help to learn faster. It is important to get the board according to your experience and level. It doesn't matter what your friends have. What matters is what you can do on your board. The bigger, the easier and faster you learn. My first foil board was a 225 liter board, plus 50 liters above my weight. A huge board looking back, but it's what I needed to get started the best way. As I had zero knowledge of wind sport, the big board helped me get the balance quicker, and when I had the balance, then I could concentrate on getting up on foil. And within 2 weeks, I was up flying. Okay, in the beginning it was a bit sketchy, hard to keep the height and the balance, but once I got up on the foil, I knew I could do it. And I could concentrate on learning to fly. What a fantastic feeling it is to get up on foil the first time. Diane, who weighs 45 kilos, started with a 92 liter board, 47 liter above her weight. Also a good choice for stability in learning in the beginning. She used more time to get up on foil because she had a lot of respect for the foil. She was not relaxed being out on the water with a sharp foil under her feet. This feeling is not unusual, and if you feel it, it's all right. And you should also know that accidents with the foils are rare. But to protect ourselves, we use a helmet and a protective vest. And in many places also a wetsuit most of the year for extra protection. When we started, we got the advice from Ruben at the Linear Surf Center here in Compostela to start with a big board based on our experience and level. And it was the right decision. Now talk with your local surf shop about boards. They have the knowledge you need. When do you change to a smaller foil board? When you are learning to ride the foil on your first foil board, you will slowly be up on foil longer and longer. When you're up on the foil more than you are on the surface of the water with your board, you will notice the board is a bit big and heavy to maneuver. That is when it is time to look for a smaller board. What is a good size for your second foil board? Again, it would be different for a rider with previous experience of windsurf or kitesurfing. They can go down close to 5 feet or even under if they want a small board for freestyle and jumps. Regarding how many liters, an experienced rider can go down to as low as the same liters as their body weight or below. For all us other riders that started out on a 6-7 board, next step could go down 1/2 to 1 foot. With a volume of plus 20 to 50 litres on the first foil board, the step down should not be so big as the experienced water sport rider. It is better to take it in smaller steps. Look for a board about plus 15 to 30 litres above your weight. Then you need to get used to balancing on the new smaller board before you can get up on foil. But this time you will progress a lot faster and you will soon be up on foil again on your smaller board. Now appreciating the easy handling of the smaller board in the air. What happens if you step down to a very small board? It will be similar to the change from the sub board to the foil board. It will be a dramatic change and it will require more energy and time for you to get used to the smaller board. A lot of time and energy. So choose wisely. Talk with the experienced riders at your local shop to get good advice. Next step. What type of riding do you want to do? This is what we will look at in the next video in this series. Learn how to wingfoil. Okay guys, there you have it. My thoughts and experiences learning to wingfoil. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you remember to like and if you subscribe, you will get notified of new videos being released from my channel. Thanks for your support. Also, I hope that you can take this information and that it will help you through your journey to be a wingfoiler. Thank you for watching. This is Fredrik Eckermark from wingfoil_Mallorca signing off. And I will see you in the next video. Stay safe.